All right, you guys, thank you so much for getting on tonight. I'm super excited about this call because Jason is someone who I love to pieces. He's someone I admire and I look up to, and he's someone that just has been this bright light in my coaching journey, and I've always loved following him and just sharing with him, and I think we have a really fun special relationship, and none of that would have happened and I wouldn't have gotten to meet him if it wasn't for coaching. For those of you who just jumped on, I was talking about comparisons with The Voice and how we get to meet people that come into our life for a reason, and I really feel like he's in my life for a reason because he's just such an amazing soul. So I'm excited to hear you tonight. I've got my notepad ready and my pen, and take it away, Jason.
Thank you. And yeah, like all of that, like coaching, I actually just right before we hopped on, like I just made a post on my page about my inner introvert coming out because I am naturally a huge introvert. And yeah, like this never would have happened like previous in life. Like doing public speaking, it's always that feeling of like getting up and having to do a presentation in front of the class. Like you hope that you don't say anything stupid or like you just have all those thoughts going. But it was through coaching that I really found like I found my voice, and I found a community of people that like I really just clicked and connected with. And even though the nerves are still there, it's allowed me to be able to express myself and to truly connect and to open up that part of myself. And like Carly said, I would never met her and I would never got to come and speak with you all. So tonight, I just wanted to hop on and share with you all some of the things that I've been diving into and learning about, which is how to create more engagement on likes pages. Because we all know as coaches, like Facebook is more than just social media. It's more than just a place to make random posts and to check in with family and friends. It's our office, essentially. It's our place of business where we show up every day to put in some work. And that is the mindset that I come from a lot is I like to say I live right on the line, but between like right and left brain, but I'm more based and I'm more business oriented, or at least I try to be. And so that is where my mindset goes, is like, what can I be doing to help build engagement, to help grow my page and everything like that. I'm not claiming to be master at it because I'm still learning. But that's what this whole journey is about, is continuing to learn about it. So I encourage you all that, especially with personal development, like personal growth, absolutely incredible. But this business is unique in that you need that personal growth, but you also need to educate and have growth on the business end as well, and educate yourselves on that. So kind of find a balance there. Don't just read strictly like self-help books, but dive into like network marketing books and other trainings out there that will actually help you develop a brand and grow a business, because essentially that's what we're trying to do. We're helping people by growing our business. So I have my top 10 ways to get more engagement. And just to make a disclaimer first, this is specifically more for likes pages, mainly because when it comes to running your business, you will never have the same audience or the same outreach potential on your personal page that you will on a likes page. Your likes page literally has the capability of reaching your exact target market of who you are trying to connect with and talk to, where your personal page is limited to only those people on your list. So even though it does take work to build your likes page, it is 100% absolutely worth it to put the time and energy and effort into growing that. So now we'll drink. So my first tip is always think about how you can make your page stand out in the best of ways. like start asking yourself, like, this is more branding. Like, how are you unique? View your page as if you were just somebody brand new coming to you, and start looking at it. Like, whenever you click on your page, do you know, like, are you able to tell like what you're doing, what you represent, what your vibe is, what your brand is? Like, it doesn't have to be just a Beachbody infomercial. In fact, it really shouldn't be. Basically ask yourself, like, would you keep coming back to this page based off of the information that you're sharing or the stories that you're sharing? Are you connecting with your own page? Because that's, I think a lot of us as coaches sometimes get caught up in, oh, I need to share more about Beachbody. I need to share more about Shakeology and all of this other stuff. Sorry. But it's really about who you are. Like, any of our customers can go to any of the thousands of coaches out there and get the exact same products. So the question is not how to sell Beachbody products, but how to sell yourself. Why should somebody come to you and choose you as your coach? So how are you standing out and showcasing yourself in the best of ways? My second tip, and I'll go through all 10 and then we'll kind of come back and do Q&A as well, because I see the chat lighting up a little bit too. So the second tip is to show your face. It took a long time for me to get in front of the camera, to even do videos especially. But don't just share like the pre-made pics, or don't just go to Google and look up a random quote image or the stock pictures or anything like that. Brand yourself. Like, you are what you're selling. You are trying to make this connection with people. So show your face. Like, show like, I know for me, for the longest time, like, you play with your angles, and sometimes a lot of the pictures, if you start scrolling through your page and you notice that every single one of your pictures looks the exact same, that you have the same expression, that it's the same angle, that they're all just all flat across the board, the same picture, start to change it up. Like, show different emotions. Like, don't be afraid just to have fun with it and to just be playful with it. The other big thing that hit home with me is, whenever you make a post, pretend that, okay, this post right here that I'm making is the one that's going to go viral. It's going to be the one that people come to my page and keep sharing out over and over and over and over again. Would you want that just to be a simple quote that nobody really knows like who it's connected with? Or why not take that quote that you love and put it on a picture of yourself and share the story that way? So that way, every time it gets shared out, people are making that mental connection of you with whatever you're sharing. Include pictures, especially of your face, of your family, pets too. Like, the more faces and the more human connection you can make on your page, the better. And the last little tip in showing you, whenever you take your picture, look right there. Look at the lens, because whenever you're looking at yourself in the camera and you take the picture, you're not fully making a connection with the people that are looking at you. But whenever you're staring dead into the lens and then people see your picture and you're making literal virtual eye contact, you have a deeper connection with people that way. So that is tip number 2, is just to show more of your face and more of the faces in your world if they're okay with it. Number 3 is to share your story and be vulnerable. One of the best and short, sweetest things that I heard was, I believe, from Gary Vaynerchuk. I don't know if it was from one of his videos or at Summit, but one of the most common things that I hear is, I don't know what to share. Like, I don't know what to talk about. And honestly, the best thing is, document your life, don't create it. whenever you start to worry about, I don't know what to post about, I don't know what to talk about, take a minute, take a breath, look around what's going on in your life at that moment, and make a post about it and relate it back to coaching and just how it's influenced your life in that moment. Like, that is how simple and easy as it can be. What are you feeling in that moment? It's just like earlier today, like while we were out running errands and whenever we got home, like my dog Butters passed away this past October, but all day I've been getting like little signs of him all around. Like I was cleaning out our dining room and found his old collar and just little things like that. And so it evoked a lot of emotion this afternoon. And so at that moment, I found a picture of us, or actually a little video. I talked about it and shared it. Just share whatever is going on in your life and share your story. Of course, like transformations are amazing, both transformations of like highs, but also like your low points too. Like, don't be afraid to, if you're having a bad day, or if you're off your nutrition, or if things just aren't going your way, share about that. But then also share about how either coaching or this lifestyle has helped you be able to see things in a different way. So that way you're not just going to live in that low moment, but that you actually have a plan to rise back up. Also, don't be afraid to repurpose your stories and pictures. This was a big one that used to scare the crap out of me, because I always thought, well, I can't post the same thing more than once, because then like people will, okay, like no. With Facebook, only a small percentage of people, it'll actually flash across their page. And actually, if you follow, I saw, like I started following a lot of the top coaches and everything on for their stuff, like repurposing your stories, repurposing your pictures. Like, I love Time Hop now. Time Hop's one of my best friends. It gives me some of the best inspirations, because a year ago, I may have posted something that may not have gotten a lot of engagement or a lot of traction. So do things like that. Like, don't be afraid to share your story multiple times, like, and in multiple ways that way. And then just as you share everything, own everything. This is something my mom and I were talking about recently as well. Like, do not be afraid to own this path that you're on. Being a coach is not something to apologize for. It's not something to be afraid of. Because the thing is that if somebody reads your post and they don't connect with it, so what? Like, it is what it is. And maybe right at that moment, they're not your target market. But somebody else that comes along that reads your post at the exact right moment in their lives, it's going to change their life. Just the same way that all of our lives are changing as well. So don't be afraid to own your successes, your failures along the way, and just share your story. Like, just share you, because that emotional connection is what's going to help you grow and to help connect with people. So that brings us to tip number 4, and that is do more video, especially live video. As scary as that is, I can tell you personally, like, my first few live videos were probably some of the most awful things ever out there, but I did it. And that was the whole point of it, because especially live video, that it allows people to see who you truly are. It allows people to hear the cadence of your speech, to hear your tone of speech, because how often do you maybe go to somebody else's page and you maybe see their picture and their posts, and then as you're reading your posts, you're actually putting your own tone of voice, you're putting your own inflections into their mouth, essentially. And so through doing videos and live videos and stumbling over your words and not having everything perfectly lined out the way you want it to be, allows you to connect with people, again, on that deeper emotional level. Because that's another thing as humans that we do, is we connect through tone and cadence of voice and the way people speak. And that might be important to the person subconsciously whenever they hear you talk, and they just instantly snap connect with you just through hearing you talk. Plus, the other great thing too about live video is that Facebook will reward you for it. We all know that they're constantly changing their algorithms and everything like that. So anything that you just randomly, like the regular postings, doesn't get as much outreach as live video does. And plus, videos too also keep people coming back over and over because they're more interactive. And that's the other great tip about live video too, is especially as you build your audience, it allows you to have a real-time conversation with people as well. Like giving people shout outs, or if they ask a question live, answering it then. So again, just another deeper connection. So that brings us to tip number 5, which is develop your own brand. Again, that kind of takes us back to number 1 and like how to stand out, but start thinking of ways to make yourself recognizable. Like that's what your brand is really about. Like showing consistency. Like if you do a lot of infographics, like pictures of you with wording on it, like maybe look at the fonts that you're using, and pick maybe like 2 to 3 consistent fonts. Do you have a special style? Do you have a color scheme? Do you have just these little nuances that are so consistent in your branding, from your Facebook banners to what you share? Like, what are you known for? Like, are you known as that exercise guru who is showcasing like the workouts every single day that you give people, like little routines that they can do? Or like mine, I'm more personal development, wellness oriented. Like I talk a lot about my body work and energy and finding your purpose in life, and more emotional that way. Because the more that you are consistent in developing your brand, even like I said, down to the color schemes and the fonts that you share, the more that people will subconsciously see something and relate it directly back to you. And that is what you want to create in your brand. So number 6, and this one was an aha moment for me because I was always afraid to do it, is to share other popular content that is out there. Like I know as coaches, sometimes we're all worried about like, well, if I share something from somebody else's page, or if I share this other video from this other page, like people will just click through onto that page and I might lose this customer. But if you really think about that, that comes from a fearful mindset of a fear of lack. Because if somebody's going to go through that much trouble and ends up going somewhere else to purchase something, they weren't meant to be with you anyway. And besides, your likes page is all about providing value for your customers and value for the people that are there. So don't have a scarcity mindset or worry that people will like go somewhere else, so they'll leave your page. Because guess what? When you're sharing like these other popular content videos, like say like the tasty videos or something like that, people will remember, oh, hey, yeah, I saw this video the other day. Like, what page was I on? And instead of, they won't know where the video came from, they'll just remember that it was on your page that they saw it. But also, too, whenever you share content like that, don't just click the share button and walk away. Like, again, relate it back to you. Share about, like, why you shared it. How does it relate to you? And, yeah, just, like, why you liked it like that. It lets people see your personality. Like, if there are, like, if you ask my husband, he says I'm the weird one in our relationship because sometimes the most weird videos make me laugh. And so, like, if somebody else might connect with my sense of humor. So if I see a video that's funny to me, I'll share it out because it's funny to me. And the other people that find it funny, I know I already have a connection with that way. Let's see. But yeah, just don't be afraid to like share other content to your page that you maybe didn't necessarily create, but always relate it back to why you shared it.
Jason, really quick, you mean share like a funny video? Like, I love sharing the puppy videos. You're not saying share other coaches' stuff.
No, yeah, sorry, I should need to clarify. Yeah, like
I just want to make sure, because there's some new coaches on here, so I want to make sure that they.
Yeah. Whenever I say popular content, like not going to like Carly's page or other coaches' pages and sharing that information, but like if you if kittens are your thing and you see like the cute kitten videos, like share that and why you shared it. When it comes to other coaches' pages directly, it's not bad to become inspired by what they post. And by inspired, that does not mean to copy and paste and to replicate their post exactly, but to, like, Mom and I do this all the time. Actually, my mom's right up there. But like, because we have the same mind patterns. Or whenever I was a new coach, like I would do that. Like I would look at other coaches' pages and I would really connect with something that they said, but then I would take that similar idea, but then completely share it in my own story, because that's what it's about. It's not about copying and pasting other coaches. But so yes, to clarify, popular content and other videos out there. So that brings us to number 7, which is to ask questions and comparison photos on your page. This is a huge one that people love to engage on, because one of the best things that we like to do as people is to give our opinion. So whenever, like, even if you already have your mind made up about something, but you have a couple choices, like we're going through and we're painting our house, and like we had a couple color choices. We already had it picked out, but I shared it on Facebook and said, like, which color do you all like the best? And you can start conversations that way. Like, don't be afraid to put like with the summit or the Punta Cana trip coming up, I've been seeing a lot of, which dress should I get to take? Or just anything you can think of, because the amazing thing about engagement on your likes page is that whenever you get that click like, or whenever people respond to it, and especially if they comment on it, it automatically shows up on their personal page. So then that means all of their friends are going to see that they commented on your page, and then their friends might decide to offer up their opinion as well, and that gives you a chance to connect with them. So that is always something to be thinking about, like whenever it comes to your posts, is am I offering them a way to engage? And opinions and comparison photos are one of the best ways to do that, especially starting out. Just ask for feedback and making a choice. And it also lets your specific audience and your fans feel like that they have a voice in your journey too, because the other thing that we don't like is just being talked to all the time. We like being talked with. And so whenever you're asking directly for feedback from your fans, they feel like they're getting that engagement back. And that is also really important in the emotional connection as well. So that brings us to number 8, which is, it's a simple concept, is consistency. And that is posting 3 to 5 times per day. I know starting out as a new coach, that seemed like a whole lot, coming from somebody that never really used Facebook other than to like scroll and check in with family and friends. But being consistent in posting every single day, multiple times a day, just gives you that much more of a chance to get in front of your fans more and more often. And the more that they see you, the more it sinks in to their head for whenever they're ready to connect with you. They know exactly where to go. Make every post that you make have a thought behind it. Again, even if it's just sharing out a popular video that you've liked, explain why you liked it. If you're drinking your Shakeology and you have that lightning bolt realization of, hey, this stuff is amazing, obviously, and it's changed my life, don't just post the little, look, I'm drinking my shake picture, but explain why it is and relate it to maybe a problem that it's helped you with in life, and not just, oh, drinking my superfoods, because that really doesn't tell anybody that much. It's just, it's a commercial, and that's the last thing you want to do. You want to make it more personal. Yeah, just don't post just to post, but be thoughtful and mindful of it. Using a post scheduler is absolutely amazing. The trick is, though, with your likes pages especially, do not use a third-party scheduler. Like Buffer is amazing for your challenge groups or things like that, because that's what I use. But for your likes pages, if you're going to schedule your posts, use the scheduler that Facebook already has incorporated into their platform. Because through the algorithm, if it senses that it's a third party, your outreach plummets. So, but if you're using Facebook's scheduler program that they have on their likes pages, it's all good. So that is definitely helpful. So even if you know that your schedule is going to be busy over the next few days, maybe take an hour or two one day and plan out at least like 2 to 3 posts per day. So that way you already know that you have some content regularly scheduled to be posted. And then that way, just on those days, you can make like 1 or 2 more posts just throughout the day sharing about what you're doing. Oh, and then the other great thing too about sharing multiple times a day is it also allows you to kind of see which content your fans or your audience loves that you're posting. And the best way to do that is to track your numbers. And then, so if you go to your likes page, at the top you have all of those tabs. If you click on the Insight tab, it just says Insights. And then on posts, it'll actually pull up a full list of all of the posts that you've been making, how much engagement you've been getting on it, how much outreach it's had, and everything like that. So you can almost start to tailor your posts based off of, okay, I'm starting to see that my workout posts are getting more engagement than like what I'm cooking or what I'm eating for dinner, or vice versa, or whatever it may be. So you'll be able to directly see what your fans love about you and what content they love seeing. So that is a helpful tool as well. In that Insight tab too, you can also see like the peak times of when your people are on. And so that way you know that, okay, if everybody's getting on like between 8 and 9 o'clock p.m., if you're going to be busy, you can always schedule a post for that time. So yeah, so definitely like track your posts as you make them. And as you build up a history, you'll be able to tailor your posts more often. So that brings us to tip number 9. And that is to respond to all comments. And this was another big one that Gary Vaynerchuk spoke on at Summit as well, is that he actually did his research before coming to Summit and started checking out multiple Beachbody coaches out on Facebook. And he said it was amazing at how little follow most coaches had on following up with their audience. If somebody's going to take the time out of their day to sit there, stop scrolling, look at your picture, watch your video, read your post, and then take the 2 to 3 seconds it takes to respond, whether if it's just a, hey, this is cool, or a long paragraph, they deserve to be acknowledged. It allows you to engage them and thank them for their time. It also gives them a reason to come back because they feel like that they're connecting with you emotionally and on that deeper level, because they're actually speaking with someone. They're not just putting out a blank comment. If they do comment or offer their opinion, that also gives you a direct connection with them to personally message them as well. So you can publicly respond to them. And then on your likes page, you have 3 options down at the bottom. You can like their comment, you can respond to their comment, and then there's also a message option as well on your likes page. So you can actually message each person that comments on your post directly from that post. And so that gives you an automatic in to talk with this cold market that you're building. Just even a simple conversation starter, like, thanks so much for liking my post. Like what brought you to my page? And what spoke to you about the post, and start a conversation that way. But yes, respond to every single comment, and you will see amazing connections start to happen that way. And that brings us to our last tip to get more engagement, and that is to always provide value. Like, always have the giving mindset. Don't ever make a post thinking that this is going to be the post that's going to make me hit Success Club, or that this is the post that's going to bring all these people to me and they're just going to buy everything from me. Because that's not the way it works. If you have that mindset of always thinking about what you're going to get in return from your posts, you're really not going to get anything, because people can see that in your posts and they're going to be feeling like you're just trying to sell to them. And that's what we're all fearful of, is we're all fearful of being that salesy salesperson as a Beachbody coach. So if you're worried about being salesy, just completely remove sales from your mind, because it's from the emotional connection with people that you make, having them relate to your story, having them see themselves in your story, and then to see you overcome that situation gives them hope that they'll then be able to overcome their own situation just like you did. And that's where that connection is going to happen, and where the questions are going to start leading to, hey, you know what, if you do need some extra help, this is what I do as a coach. I have this challenge group every month. These are the results that we see. This is how I can help you. And everything that you've connected with me about, like, we can do it together. Like the customer, whenever they show up to your page, our mindsets are naturally geared to ask, like, what's in it for me? What am I getting out of this page? So if they show up to your page and they're not getting any return, then they're not going to invest any of their time into staying on your page. And you have to keep in mind too that your like page, it is your story that you're sharing. The likes page isn't for you. And that is something to really wrap your mind around. Your likes page is for your fans and for making connections with your people and for growing your business. So that is always something to remember. And so just continue to talk about, like, what's valuable to you, and continue to acknowledge people, like, especially, like I said, on live videos, and just provide value, hand over fists, and you will be blown away at how many people then you won't have to hunt down people to hit Success Club, because when people make that emotional connection and they see what you've achieved, they will be reaching out to you. Don't rely on that 100% of the time, but you will notice a shift in that when people connect with you emotionally and see themselves in your story, that you're going to start getting more people reaching out to you, asking questions before you even reach out to them. And that is one of the most powerful things behind this. So, with that, like, I do like one of the quotes, because I'm actually in the Jesse Reagan training as well. And I just from personal experience, like, it is absolutely incredible. And there was one, or actually a couple quotes that I wanted to give you all that really stood out to me through that training. And he basically said, inspire them, connect, and give them the ability and invitation to take action to connect with you to help resolve and reconcile that emotion. So that is what this journey is all about for people. It's not just about losing the weight. It's not about just changing their nutrition. It's not about looking good in that bikini for summer. It's all emotional based. I mean, so if people are like, that's the number one question I go to is whenever somebody says, I want to lose 10 pounds by summer. Great. Like, how would that, like, whenever you see yourself losing that 10 pounds, like, how does that make you feel? how would that change your life? Like, what kind of confidence boost would that get you? Like, that emotional connection. So that is what your likes page is about, is providing that place to inspire them to connect with people and giving them the ability and a direct invitation to take action on the emotions that they feel when they're reading your story and when they see themselves in your story. And the last little thing I wanted to share with you all are 5 questions that whenever it comes to creating content for your page that you can ask yourselves, and that will help you create your content. So the question number 1 is, what is my ideal team member or customer feeling and experiencing right now? Because chances are what they're feeling and experiencing right now is very similar to what you're experiencing and feeling right now. And that is an emotional connection there. Question 2, what circumstances can I talk about to trigger those feelings? Because that was a big one for me. Like, I've lost about 70 pounds and I've kind of plateaued, and that's where I'm struggling and being really frustrated with right now in my journey. And so that is something that I've talked about. Something I recently just opened up about is food addiction. After doing more and more research into that, that is something very big that I didn't realize was affecting my life. So sharing about struggles, things like that, and just, like, what circumstances can you talk about to trigger those feelings? Question number 3 is, how can I leverage those feelings and ask people to take a specific action? So again, like if I'm talking about overcoming food addiction, I can ask questions like, have you ever struggled with this yourself? Like, how has it affected your life? And over time, build that relationship on the likes page and personally to eventually get to that point to where I can make a public post and just said, look, this is my journey. I'm struggling with food addiction. If it's something you can relate to, I'm actually hosting a 3-week group coming up where that's what we're going to focus on our nutrition. And this is what it takes to enroll and join in with me. If you're interested, connect with me and we'll get that going. Question 4 is, what do my ideal team members or customers really want? Again, it's not just about losing weight. It's not just about looking good, feeling good, but what do they really want? And that typically comes down to an emotional connection, both for themselves and with the world around them. And then the last question is, how can I help them get them there? And that last them is the important part, is how can I help get them there? Not how can I help myself by getting them to buy a challenge pack to earn me Success Club points, because that doesn't matter whenever it comes to this. A Success Club is an incredibly amazing goal to always be striving for, and to always keep reaching out to people and new customers and everything like that. But this journey is not just about the numbers. It's about making that real connection. And I promise you, whenever you're making that connection with people, Success Club will naturally happen on its own, and it won't be something that you have to stress about each month. And it does take time and effort to get there, but whenever you're focused on having that giving spirit and providing that value and making that emotional connection, you will just kind of see everything encompass and everything will come together. So that is all I have for tonight. I hope I didn't ramble too much.
No, you didn't. You did great. And I took so many notes, and a lot of the things you said were good reminders for myself too, because I think sometimes when we're posting on social media, it's easy just to throw up a picture of the dogs and get into that habit of not really sharing, like what I shared in the beginning about the voice. That's something that I could really put on Facebook, so just thinking about, where you're at in the moment, where you're at on your journey, if it's personal development, like you said, or weight loss or food and nutrition, sharing about those things that we're thinking about, And then also going live, you guys. One thing for me, I really was nervous going live. So I found something that I really liked, Datebox. And Sean and I will go live when we're doing that because I'm comfortable talking about it. And it's something fun for me and it can show my personality. So if you're nervous about going live, find something like that excites you, that you can, I like to talk with my hands and move my hands. So if I'm on a date box, I'm not sitting there doing like this on a live screen, but that's something that really helped me. So
yeah. And just looking through some of the comments on the page, like someone posted, my likes page and my personal page have the same content all the time. Does this pose any problems or does it seem redundant without a purpose? I can honestly tell you that I cannot remember the last time I actually made a direct post to my own personal page. Even though I haven't made a direct announcement yet of having switched completely over to my likes page, I make every single one of my posts solely to my likes page. And if it's something that I feel like sharing out, I'll share it over to my personal page so that my family and friends and everything and everybody will see it that way. In the beginning, that is kind of good just to kind of help get some of that beginning engagement on your likes page. You'll also see some other coaches do the double posts where they'll post on their likes page and then copy and paste the exact post on their personal page. It's all about personal preference. My personal mindset is my likes page is what's going to build my business. So that's what's getting my focus. And so to me, my personal page is just kind of a distraction for me. So it really does come down to just personal preference. There are some coaches out there that solely use their likes page for their business, and their private page is still private and personal. And
And I'm going to add on to that, Jason, really quick, because if you're a newer coach, your personal page is fine, to tap into the warm market and to get that engagement there. But I think also, too, starting a likes page, I think what you're talking about, Jason, too, is if you're going to share on your personal page, that's content you can share while you're building your likes page over there as well. And then if you ever get to that point where you want to make the decision to do what Jason's doing, you can. But if you're newer and you still have your warm market, utilize that, too.
Yes, absolutely. But don't be afraid to bounce back and forth. Especially in the beginning. I know I did a lot, but now, like I said, once you kind of grow and you get that feel, you can make that decision later down the road. So.
And I have one question for you. How do you determine your budget, for your likes page? Do you boost stuff daily, or not boost, but do whatever he calls it?
I honestly, like I said, I'm going through Jesse Reagan's social team builder right now, and it is blowing my mind. Because like I said, that's just the way my brain works. Is I wanted a very specific tool, and I've always seen the value in Facebook ads, but I never really understood how to use them properly. For me, budget's a tricky thing because it's different for each one of us. But I will tell you that, especially even as a newer coach, that investing as little as $10 a month into Facebook ads, that would be a wonderful personal development for anybody out there, is invest some time and money into learning about network marketing through Facebook ads, because it's absolutely incredible, the outreach you can get. Just start small. I know whenever I first started doing it, I would randomly boost posts that I thought were really cool. But the reason why I say invest your time and money into the personal development behind it is that if you just click the boost button, or if you just create an ad and you don't create a target audience and just put it out there for all of Facebook, you're going to get some really, really random likes and comments on your page from people that you're not going to connect with.
Oh my gosh, learn from me, you guys. I did that when I first started. For the first year, I would boost $5. I had no clue who I was targeting, what I was doing. And I think a lot of us started that way. So
Yes, I started that way.
yes, learn what he's saying. Like, I'm going through the same training, and I haven't boosted anything or campaigned anything until I really understand what I'm doing. So I love that you brought that up.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I personally highly recommend it. I don't know if the training, if enrollment's still open for it, but I think he does it like yearly or so every so often, but that's the social team builder training. But like he goes into like how to do split testing and how to create audiences and other things like that. So it's very methodical and very thought out. But there are lots of other trainings out there. Facebook itself actually has, I believe, I don't know if it's like Facebook Business or something like that, but Facebook has like free trainings on how to use their ads program and everything like that. But literally, budget is up to you, but you can start as small as you like, even if it's just $1 here and there, because the amazing thing is that just by getting 2 or 3 new likes and connecting with 2 or 3 new people, that has the potential to open you up to even more people. So that right there is wonderful. So yeah, any other questions? You can feel free to unmute yourselves if you have a question, or there's the chat box.
And I'm going to share the recording. So if anyone does end up with questions, I'll shoot them over to you.
Yeah.
And get your feedback and your thoughts on it.
Hey, Jason, I was just going to mention, because I'm in that same training as well. And I was just going to mention, you're talking about the viral videos, to make sure you share it from Facebook, not from YouTube.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's another big one too.
So don't just go, like YouTube, some, super popular video from YouTube and share it to Facebook, because you won't get the same traction. So try to find a popular video that's already on Facebook and share it there. Share it that way.
Yeah, and especially like, well, in addition to that, but your own videos, because I know like YouTube technically, like if you make a video and then upload it to YouTube and then share the YouTube link on your Facebook page, Facebook doesn't really like that all that much. They would rather you upload the video directly to Facebook, if not do a live version of it yourself on Facebook. So that is something to pay attention to as well. One of my favorite things to do recently, though, is any live videos that you make, at the end of it, before just clicking post and moving on, make sure, again, this is business mindset, is you want make sure that HD upload is on. So that way it's the crystal clear, perfect looking video. But also too, there's an icon right next to that where you can save that video to your phone. Because then I've just been taking all of my Facebook Live videos and uploading them to YouTube. And I've actually gotten a handful of new customers from people that love YouTube as their platform. They see my videos, they comment on my videos, and I reach out to them that way. And then we connect to Facebook. So there are multiple ways to utilize Facebook Live that way. Or another one, like with the Facebook ads, like if you go live with somebody or live while you're doing your workout or something, you can save that video and chop it down into like little segments of you doing one move at a time into like a 30-second video. And then all of a sudden there you have like a Facebook ad or a new video to share in a progression of moves. So all content is literally everywhere. And whenever I hear somebody say, I don't know what to post about, there's stuff going on, believe me.
Oh, I'm typing. Do you use iMovie, or does anybody else use iMovie or some other format for your videos for editing, or do you just do your videos and condense it there and then share it?
Yeah. I use a mixture of both. I use iMovie, like especially, like I said, if I do, like half the time whenever, especially if my husband and I are doing our workout together, or if I'm working out by myself, I'm typically recording my workouts. As I'll set my camera up in a place that I know that it'll catch like a good angle. Sometimes I'll even pause the workout and change the angle. But those are wonderful things to record. And again, investing in a photo storage is great too. But then you can put that video in iMovie and chop it up, which again, that's another great personal development moment for business, is investing in trainings and things like that. Yes, pick, play, post is awesome. Or even the, I'll try to put it up, but on your iPhone, if you have an iPhone, I'm not too familiar with Androids, but like, I'll go back. Okay. But like whenever you pull up a video, let's see, it'll go. This little icon there of the 3 bars, that takes you into edit mode on your iPhone. And you can literally slide, this middle bar takes you to different areas of the video. And then you can, if I can do it, yeah, you can drag the video to chop it down that way. And then it gives you the option on if you just want to save that new clip to your phone, or if you want to chop up the original video. So sometimes I'll do that, is I'll just pick out little sections of the video I just recorded and save them as new clips and do it that way. So yeah, the phones are really cool, and there's some really good information out there. I'm trying to think of what else. And it's also good too, like for content on your page to like have some videos where it's just of you in action, and then some of like where you put words on the videos as well. Or you can always try like voiceover videos, like just have fun with it. Like as creative as you want to be, that showcases your personality.
I love it.
Let's see, what are some good apps I use daily? Honestly, let's see, I'll pull it up. I have a folder. Where are you?
And too, it's like finding out what you like to use. You know, like some of the stuff that I like to use, like PhotoGrid, I love using that. And I love Pick Tap Go for my coloring my pictures. Some people love Rona or whatever. I don't even know how I'm saying it right. I hate that app because it's so little and it's on my phone and I got to move things around. I like to go to PicMonkey online. So I think too, it's like finding out what you like, because you know what I mean?
Yeah, it takes a long time, not a long time, but it takes exploring different apps to find out what you like, because honestly, then that also comes back to building your brand, because it's fun playing with different apps. But then again, if you're starting to get into that realm where every single post that you're making is just all over the place, you're not really creating something that's truly memorable, because people might see so many different styles. So play around with different apps and find out like which ones work really good for you. And then just kind of go from there. Try to hold that up. These are my top 6. I have iMovie, Pick, Play, Post, Pick, Lay Pro. That one is really good for doing overlays. Like if I find a quote that I really like, you can go into that app. I pick a picture of myself, and then I pick the quote that I just downloaded, and it overlays them on top of each other. And then I have Rana, Studio, and then PicMonkey. But typically, like iMovie and Pick, Play, Post are what I use pretty constantly, and then PicMonkey on the computer as well. Oh, and sorry, this just blew my mind that somebody shared this the other day, and I tried it out. I believe, and it's only on the computer, but clippingmagic.com.
Oh, yes. That's
oh my gosh. Because it is like whenever you see other coaches' banners and you see those perfect cutouts of them standing in their pose overlaid on top of other things. Because on PicMonkey, you have the availability to erase around it, but of course they never come out exactly right. But Clipping Magic, I believe you can do like a couple pictures for free, or it's like $3.99 a month for up to 75 pictures. But you literally highlight the section that you want to keep and then highlight the section you want it to get rid of. And it literally produces like a perfect cutout picture of whatever it is that you want.
You guys go to that website and play with it. It will blow your mind. Like I love, and I always forget about it unless I'm like putting something together like that. But it's really good. And one thing I'll say too, a lot of coaches use Hello Gorgeous. I never ever use that. I've never toned up my face or whatever they do. If you're going to do that, that's fine. Just make sure it doesn't look like you're doing that. Because I've seen some images pop up of people and it's like, I know your face does not look like that in person. So if you're going to take away a pimple or a blemish or something, go for it, but just make it look like yourself. I'm sorry, I had to say that because I've seen
no, I've seen those too.
I'm crazy with them.
The other good reminder too is every investment that you make in any photo video editing app is a tax write-off. So again, it's that business mindset that in the beginning especially, it may take a little bit of money here and there, but the payoff of it, if you're consistent with it, will be amazing. So don't be afraid to try out something new and spend those few dollars on it, because one, you'll just write it off. But if it's going to help you build your brand and you're going to put it to work, I say go for it.
Perfect. All right, Jason. Well, thank you for all of this amazing knowledge and information. And if you guys have any other questions or if you hear the recording with your teams, I'll upload it. If they have questions, feel free to let us know. I'll get the questions back to Jason and find out, what he's done or what's worked for him. But thank you so much for getting on tonight. This was great. I really appreciate it. And you're awesome. And you did amazing. You should never have been nervous because you were awesome.
Always.
Thanks, Jason.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Good night.
All right, y'all have a good night.
Thanks, Carly, too.
Yep. See you later, guys.
Bye-bye.